Once upon a time, in a bustling town, there lived a merchant who made a living for his family by selling salt. He had a wife and 2 sons. The elder son was extremely shy, so much so that he was hesitant to strike up conversations with others. In contrast, his younger son was full of confidence and had an outgoing personality. Due to his reserved demeanor, people often misjudged the elder son as foolish. Many even exploited his innocence, yet he never uttered a word of complaint. The merchant frequently grew exasperated with his elder son's timid ways and would scold him severely. However, this only served to further erode the boy's self-esteem. As the elder son grew older, his lack of confidence began to take a toll on his education. During examinations, fear would grip him so tightly that he was unable to write down the answers, and learning became an uphill battle for him. Eventually, when he reached young adulthood, his father asked him to assist with the family business. Dreading the thought of disappointing his father, he agreed. But his nervousness often led to blunders, which made his father even more irate. One day, while the merchant was away, some crafty men came to the shop and deceitfully claimed, "Your father has sent us to take all the salt sacks to the city." The young man was hesitant to question them, and before he could gather his wits, they had made off with all the goods. When his father returned and found the shop empty, he flew into a rage. "You fool! You let them steal everything. You've caused me a huge loss. Get out of my sight and never come back." The young man was heart-broken. His father's fury, the townspeople's mocking laughter, and his own sense of helplessness made him feel utterly worthless. With a heavy heart, he wandered to the riverbank. Overcome with shame, he thought, "There's no point in living anymore. I'll always be a failure." Just as he was about to leap into the river, a young disciple passing by noticed him and quickly pulled him back to safety. The young man angrily demanded, "Why did you save me? My life is worthless. I can't do anything right." The disciple replied gently, "Life is a precious gift given only once. If you stay alive, you can overcome failure and achieve success. But if you give up now, you'll never know what you're truly capable of." The young man poured out his sorrows. "I'm shy and weak. Because of this, my father hates me. I have no proper education, and people call me a fool. Does someone like me even deserve to live?" The disciple smiled and said, "My teacher can answer your question. Come with me." At first, the young man refused, but after much coaxing, he followed the disciple to his master's ashram. There, under a large tree, sat a great saint, deeply immersed in meditation. The disciple and the young man bowed respectfully before him. As soon as the young man laid eyes on the saint, he burst into tears. The saint inquired, "Why are you weeping, my child?" "My young man replied, You're my last hope. If you can't help me, I'll end my life." The saint calmly asked him to share his troubles, and the young man recounted his entire life story. After listening intently, the saint said, "I have a solution for you, but before I reveal it, you must follow my instructions for the next 3 days. If you complete my tasks, I promise your life will be transformed." Desperate for a glimmer of hope, the young man agreed. On the first day, the saint instructed him to go and talk to 10 strangers, ask about their lives, and write down their responses. The young man was hesitant, but followed the saint's advice. Some people ignored him, while others were rude, but he persevered. By evening, he had spoken to 10 people and even made a few new friends. Proud of his accomplishment, he returned to the saint and reported his success. On the second day, the saint said, "Today, you must teach 10 young students about the importance of water." The young man was taken aback. "I have no proper education. How can I teach?" he objected. The saint smiled and said, "Those children don't know that you feel uneducated. Just share whatever knowledge you already possess." Nervously, the young man stood in front of the students. His hands trembled, but he began to speak. He explained 5 important uses of water and then quickly fled. When he returned to the saint, he said, "I was so scared, but I did it." The saint replied, "Try again." This time the young man spoke with more confidence. By the end of the lesson, he realized he was no longer afraid. The saint commended him, saying, "See, you're braver than you thought." On the 3rd day, the saint gave the most challenging task. "Today you must visit your father and ask for his forgiveness." The young man was terrified. No, he'll never forgive me. I can't face him, the saint said firmly. If you refuse, I won't give you the final solution. Summoning all his courage, the young man returned home. He humbly apologized to his father, promising to prove his worth. Seeing the change in his son, the merchant forgave him and gave him another opportunity in the business. When the young man returned to the saint and asked for the secret to success, the saint smiled. You've already discovered it on your own. Your biggest enemy wasn't your shyness, it was your fear. People perceive you the way you project yourself. Even if you feel weak, act confident, and no one will doubt you. True strength comes from believing in yourself. With tears of gratitude, the young man bowed before the saint. I understand now. I won't let fear control my life anymore. I'll prove to the world that I'm capable. Years later, that same young man had become a respected businessman, renowned for his wisdom and confidence. Confidence isn't something we're born with. It's something we cultivate. Even the shyest person can become strong if they choose to believe in themselves. Our biggest limitations exist only in our minds. Fear and self-doubt can hold us back, but courage and perseverance can change everything. The young man once thought he was doomed to fail, but by confronting his fears, he transformed his life. Confidence blossoms when we step outside our comfort zones. The world sees us the way we choose to present ourselves. Believe in yourself, take small steps forward, and you'll discover a strength you never knew you had.